put together a solid game plan 2 weeks in a row. It was some games. But overall, I can't complain too much. We just need to see the Bills performed at an exceptional level against very good teams.
This was our third win in a row. Very happy. Sorry,
Right.
he's jamming out. Oh, it's just a song that Sean, my friend who did the thing, picked, and it's like, it actually works. As you can always see Steve over there jamming in the background.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're also dancing because we are now 6-2. Fifth game in a row that we have won, and we are atop the AFC West. So, for a team that Nick Wright said wouldn't even win, he's getting roasted on social media, by the way. We're doing pretty good, don't you guys think?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, as I always do, the plug for the Almost Home. Our game is Sunday at noon at Almost Home. We had a really good turnout last week for a really good game. So I'm just going to go right into it. As always, we do our good, bad, and the ugly. So we're going to start with good. And whoever wants to go first goes.
I'll go ahead. Sure, I'll go ahead. I'll go with the rookies. The rookies were tremendous. We had Harvey with 3 touchdowns, obviously showing that burst, looking like a guy in the second half who could really help out Dobbins and make sure they can give a good 1-2 punch. Pat Bryant, my guy from Illinois, caught the big touchdown. His blocking is something he showed at Illinois. He's been really good blocking at Denver. I know some of the coaches have mentioned that he's a pretty good blocker, and that's why he's going to probably stay in the NFL for a while as a wide receiver. And Jahdae Barron, we've talked now. He sort of looks like the guy that's going to cover the tight ends for the other team and shut down a guy who's playing pretty well in Ferguson. No catches, very few targets. Got the pick, obviously, at the end of the half there. And if he can play that role for us, since Greenlaw, now is coming back, but it's in and out, can free up Greenlaw to do more with the running backs, more in the running game, more closer to the line of scrimmage. That's probably a better fit for the defense. So I love the way our rookies are, and it looks like we have another stellar class of them. So,
yeah, that was my good. Was all the big time rookie things. So, Steve.
There's so many good things. I could go with, 5 quarters of very good football. Like that's pretty good. We could go with the rookies. We could go with 6 different receivers catching balls. So it's not like we got, Cortland Sutton carrying the team. Franklin actually led in receptions. Bo Nix has been great for my fantasy team. My fantasy team otherwise is terrible, but Bo Nix has done a very good job. And actually, yeah. So I'm pretty happy this week. All things considered.
Yeah, there so much was good about it. It was a complete game this time, and I always like watching the Cowboys lose in tremendous fashion. So
that's 8 losses in a row to us.
That's 8 losses. Yeah, 95, right? Jeez.
Elway was the last Broncos quarterback to lose to the Cowboys.
Unbelievable. Love it.
And next time when it's 8, I'll say Kubiak was the last backup quarterback to lose to the Cowboys.
That's good. I like that. That's good there. Yes.
All right. I mean, we could go on and on and on about the good and all of that. Let's get into the nitty gritty. So we're gonna now hit with the bad. Steve, why don't you lead this one?
PS2 getting injured. I think that would be the easy one there. Actually, just go injuring this more broadly.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, because PS2 getting injured, but then also the concussion, the NIMS, which was in an unnecessary situation. So
yeah,
that sucks. But it doesn't seem like it's a severe concussion. So hopefully we'll be back soon. But great game, but you never want to come out and banged up.
Yeah, Surtain is going to be gone 4 to 6 weeks. Upper pec injury. So,
but they didn't put him on IR yet. So
Yeah, they're really holding out hope there. I don't think he'll be back. I think they're trying to target that Chiefs game and pray to God he gets back before it. But
I think I think you're right.
That's pretty. It's pretty positive thinking. I mean, I will all hope that it gets there. So he's a tough guy. He's played through injuries a bunch. He's played through injuries in the Colts game, this game. So I mean, if anyone could do it, it'd be him. Honestly, so.
Well, and a lot of it, I suspect, comes down to like, what do you need the roster spot for? Like, is it worth putting him on the bench for 4 weeks? And so if they can hold out, worst case scenario, he doesn't play for 4 weeks. You just need to see the roster spot, and then he comes back after the bye week or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chris Abrams-Drain is going to be playing in his position. So, I don't know. We'll see how this works out.
Great
right.
ball skills.
Yeah, football skills. I just remember there was a few plays that he got burned worse than Riley Moss has gotten burned. So that's my only concern with him. But you know what? It's a year later, so we'll see how he does. You're bad, Brett.
Pretty nitpicky, and it's one of the obvious ones that people want to complain about. Riley Moss is not great downfield, and one of the issues is it's not necessarily his fault. It's, I think, the reputation now he's sort of gotten is playing against him. Like, the reputation for PS2 helps him, and he doesn't get it. They know he's good. I think now the refs are looking for a lot of the stuff, and that's sort of counting against him when he doesn't necessarily deserve some of the calls. Obviously, the Giants one was atrocious. That was never a PI. That was a terrible call. Every cornerback on earth said, "Oh, that's the worst call I've ever seen," so on and so forth. But now that they seem a little zoned in on it. They seem a little bit looking for it, and it's now becoming more of a thing of, man, he's almost got to play perfect in those spots, and they're going to target him, they're going to go for it. It's putting him in a real tough spot. He's doing what he can. He's not playing, I think, bad necessarily. I think he's playing fine, but I think his reputation is really something that's hurting against him now, and I don't know how we sort of turn that. But I remember at least one play in the Dallas game, he got called for a downfield one. I was like, that was also pretty nitpicky. I don't think most players get that. But he sort of seems to get that other side of the reputation where they just don't think he's covering them well.
Yeah. I mean, there was the one he got it twice in a row.
Yeah.
And then, though I did find it funny, in the last play of the game, one of the last plays, he's like standing in the middle of the field, like, okay, are you going to throw the flag? Like, where's like literally, like, I'm not moving until I know there's no flag. So I did I think that's exactly what it is that the refs have talked to each other, and now they're looking for little things left and right. And I don't know how. I agree with you. I don't know how he overcomes this, because
that's a concern. I wish there was he could do something about it. I just don't think he can. I think it's more Payton has to sort of realign, and hopefully they get more of a fair shake at it.
Right. Yeah, because, I mean, part of the reason why he plays the way that he plays is because he isn't as quick as PS2. So he is playing more what I would call, like, with his hands or other things. And everything I've even seen is like somebody calls quarterbacks are the car washers of the football. They all use their hands constantly. It's just the way he's playing, they're now picking up on it. And if it looks like it might be PI, they're giving it to him. And that's my personal opinion. If I was Sean Payton, I'd be calling up the league and being like, okay, what is he supposed to be doing? Like, what are you seeing that wasn't there 3 weeks ago? But we all know how those calls go too. Sometimes that makes it worse. But all right, let's get to it. The ugly. My ugly here was going to be the refs as a whole in that game.
Yeah.
It was atrocious. Oh, yeah. It was a horrible, horrible called game. I don't know if anybody else felt that way like I did, but
no, it wasn't a well called game. It seemed sort of sloppy. It just was. We were somewhere ahead. It didn't really matter, but
We seem to have been getting the best and brightest of the NFL referees the last couple of weeks. So hopefully, it'll be a little better next week.
I mean, I'm
from
not
everything.
Calls are calls. They happen. That's the way they're going to be. But when you even have Cowboy fans on social media going, really? Like, it was bad. And I'm not going to say that it was Detroit against the Chiefs bad, but it was pretty bad. So that was my.
I mean, it's a league-wide thing. I mean, roughing all over the places. And it's not even this game. It's you watch any game. It's been pretty bad league-wide this year. It just seems I don't know why it seems to be getting worse, but it's been, I think the last few weeks it's proven out from what I've seen it's been pretty bad all the way around. So
Yeah, I mean, what they're calling roughing is normal. It's just terrible. I mean, it's almost like they don't want to have any head injuries at all. So they're just like, if you even breathe on the quarterback the wrong way, it's roughing. But all right. Steve, got anything to add, or do you got a different ugly?
I've got a different ugly. My ugly, I held my fire there for mine. My ugly is all the hate for Riley Moss.
there we go.
Yes.
Like, the guy has the most targets on the team. I think it's just he's not given a fair shake. I think the reality is he's doing a hard job in the way that this defense works. And I think to the points you were making, like, I think it's like on some level set up for a certain amount of what one could perceive as failure. But I think it's just like he's targeted often. He's only, half of those passes aren't complete when he's targeted. So he's doing good there. I think the thing that hurts him is that, he is a shorter cornerback playing against taller receivers, some of those deeper passes. That's where it ends up looking rough. And there's just nothing to do about that. He just needs to grow another 6 inches, and that ain't happening. So I feel good going into this game, even though PS2 is down, just because you look at the way we played in the second half of that game. Second half of that game, and the Cowboys are not a bad team. Their offense is quite good, right? So even with PS2 out, you still had, us shutting them down pretty effectively. And so that was not PS2. That was Moss. That was Barron, So
they had Moss play CeeDee Lamb, and he only had 1 catch for 2 yards, and I'm pretty sure that was in the first half also. So, he didn't have a single catch or yards. I said, Moss is in the toughest position. I forgot who said this. I know multiple people said this. He's in the toughest spot in the NFL almost. He is opposite the best corner who's never going to get thrown at. So he's going to get all the targets his way. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's like the second most targets in the NFL. It's crazy.
Surprised it's not more the most, honestly. That's kind of crazy because you're never going to throw a PS2, so he's going to get all those targets. So they're going to invent ways to try and go after him or try and find his weaknesses. And I think he's doing a good. I defend it. I think he's doing a good job. I think it's more of a reputation issue than his actual play. I think his actual play is just fine. He's not the best downfield cornerback, but that's also a tough spot for a lot of cornerbacks, especially smaller ones. So he fights like hell, and he does a good job. I mean, I would.
And I know a lot of people are pointing out the bomb that the backup quarterback got in late game play. That one was Riley, PS2 couldn't have stopped that ball. It was
that's Joe Milton. I mean, he has a rocket arm. He's one of the few backup quarterbacks that may be more talented arm wise than any other. 95% of the starters in the NFL. He's just a weird breed of guy that if he actually makes a good throw, it's kind of hard to get past. So
I mean, it was one of those that no cornerback was probably going to stop that one. I mean, he's top 5 in the league for corners that have as many targets as he has. So I don't get it either. But it's going to continue to happen because they think we did get spoiled with Champ Bailey and the cornerbacks we had at that time too. So I mean, and having PS2 on one side is definitely very much a plus. So he's always going to get it. I agree. Well, Brett, you're ugly.
It was also the reffing. It was not. As I said, it's a league wide thing. It's not even just this game because I'm watching Red Zone, I watch the Bears game, watch all of these other games. It's been just really rough to watch the last few. There's I know at least a couple offside calls where the guy's 4 yards off and they're not calling it and they're missing. Forgot what game that was. If that was, I know there was one in the Lions Chiefs game. I think there's one somewhere else too. It's not completely unwatchable. Obviously, it's football. Football's amazing, but it's something where I thought they were doing a better job. It seemed like they were doing a better job, and now this year I feel like it's regressed a bit all over the league. So I'm wondering, hopefully, close to playoff time or in mid-season, they make some adjustments and it's sort of calmed down because there seems to be a ton of flags in some of these games where I know they're getting 10, 11 penalties a game, and it's pretty outrageous.
Yeah. Yep. I completely agree with that. I had a thought in my head about something that I forgot to say, but you know what? If I can't remember, it wasn't meant to be said. So, all right, we are playing the Texans this week.
Texas too, so.
So, injury report. We already talked about Surtain being out for 4 to 6 weeks. Jonah Ellis and McGlinchey were on the injury report, but they played all week. So it looks like we're pretty close to full strength, except for PS2. So not much there. So, Steve, what do you think about the game? Is there anything you're going to be looking for this game?
I mean, I've been told that the Texans
are.
Yeah, I've been told that the Texans are the best defense in the NFL. I think we're about to find out. I think that we are. I think we are a better defense. I think on a good day, I feel like there's some struggles we've had in some places along the way, but I think that that's really where I'm looking for is like what this looks like on defense. Does our offense continue to operate like it did this past week, where it was a weaker defense? So let's find out.
Brett?
Yeah, I say I would put Houston. I say I would put us one, but I mean Houston would probably be number 2 for my defenses. I know Seattle's up there. I like Seattle and a couple others, but I think this is going to be super low scoring. I think it's going to be super grinded out, and hopefully our offense can move the ball, get some points going, especially early. It'd be nice to see if our scripted plays can get something big going down the field. The one thing two things is turnovers is definitely going to be a thing. If you make a mistake, that's going to be magnified so much more in this low scoring type of game. And the second thing is with that, I'm worried. I'm a little about Chris Abrams' drain. Jaquan McMillan's someone I've always liked, and I know he's more of a slot at times, but I think he might be seeing a lot more game action, and he's known to make some big plays at times. So I'm wondering if he can cause a big play. I think that's somebody that could definitely seems to be around the ball at times. I wonder if he can do something big this game. So that's somebody I'm going to look at see if he gets on the field more. Someone I always liked, and I know he can make mistakes, but he also seems to make some big plays at times, and I think we might need one on the defensive side.
Yeah, and you guys also saw that we acquired another tight end.
Yes. Some unknown rookie named Mercedes Lewis. Yeah.
And they're like, oh. I was like, all right, that's a filler right there.
They said they might need a blocking tight end. I was like, oh god, yeah. But I forgot who they asked some of the rookies, and they didn't know Mercedes Lewis was, even though he's been in the NFL for 20 years. It's like, oh geez.
He will be the oldest tight end to ever start, I believe. I don't even know.
He has been. He's only the third player over 40 that has receiving yards. It's him, Jerry Rice, and Tom Brady.
Brady. I was going to say Brady.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Might be a little bit of a short show unless anybody has anything else they have to say.
No, let's get this
one. I agree with what you guys said in terms of analysis. I'm just not going to like that it's a noon game because I hate freaking noon games.
I don't like me it's a noon game.
I don't like the noon game. We got Bears fans. We're gonna have it just seems like the type of game where it's gonna be super. I'm gonna have to worry for 3 hours, and it's gonna be close, and it's gonna be Jesus.
Yeah, we're gonna be stuck in that corner.
No, we're gonna fight for a spot.
I think we're going to be. Well, we'll see how many Bears fans show up after last week and what happens.
They get to play the horrible Bengals defense, so I'm sure they'll get back on track probably.
Oh, well, the Jets did.
Yeah, it's a like the Cowboys, the Bengals are a cure-all defense at times, or it seems like for teams. So and the
Yeah,
Bears
like
kind of need it. So
kind of like what Brett and I were talking about before you got on, Steve, is we are talking about McDaniels down in Miami. Like last week's win saved him for a couple of more weeks.
Yeah.
I think that win saved, what is it? Aaron Glenn? Yeah, Aaron Glenn
yeah,
mentioned it for a little while. Like, I don't know, that guy still has a job, but okay. All right. Well, one last thought. Anything you guys want to talk about?
no, this is one I think is a good barometer measure. This is one. If you're a really good team, you win this type of game. It's a tough one. It's on the road. This is one. If you lose, you're probably a good team, but not a very good team. This is one I'd feel a lot better if we won going into a playoff situation if we won this type of game. So
Yeah, because it's also against an AFC team, so it's going to affect seeding, everything like that. Yeah, I want this team to show the moxie they've been showing the last couple of weeks in the close games. I'm like, even the ones in the early part of the year that we lost by a field goal, or as I like to say, a bad ref call on one that it was close. This team's fighting. It, as we saw against the Giants. So, um, yeah, kind of go back to the refs. This is what I was going to talk about. Did you guys see that in the Giants game that when Dart was under concussion protocol, that Scattaboo and the coach got fined for interfering with the concussion protocol?
yeah,
No.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like they won't say what they did. They just said that they both got fined. I think it was like $50,000 a piece because they, who knows what they were trying to do. And but
Yeah.
then again, I was like, oh well, let's not make too much of a big deal about that because Scattaboo then
listen, it's a
ripped his
insult to
foot.
injury for him. Yeah, it's very not nice to
So
do that to him now. So rookie, he's not making that much money.
yeah. Um, Steve, anything for you?
So I, going back a little ways, predicted that the Broncos would be 12-2 going into the Packers game, and I continue to be correct. So we'll see
Yeah.
how this goes.
Yeah,
But it's like we start off the season a little soft, and we talked about September's not a good month for Peyton's offense. Oh, that was something I meant to talk about. I was reading something today that like one of the things that sort of distinguishes Peyton's offense is all the personnel changes. Well, one of the good things about the personnel changes is you get your rookies playing in the offense more than they probably otherwise would. And so then when we do have injuries, we have less of a depth problem because they've played live snaps. They're much more in the flow of the game. They're much more cohesive as a team. And so, with PS2 going down, things like that, hey, who knows? But, I stand by my prediction until proven wrong, and then probably still stick by it for a little bit.
no, I that's a good point, Steve. I think the depth thing, especially in the offense, and that's sort of why I'm not really for trading for a wide receiver. I know that we've been linked to Rashid Shaheed, I think 12 different times this week. I think I wouldn't. I would want to stay with what we have. I like the wide receiver depth we have. Franklin seems to have his role. Mims has his role. Pat Bryant's working in. I don't think we really need somebody like that. I think Mims plays that role just fine, and I don't think we really need to force that because I think we'll lose playing time for our rookies that I'd rather get out there and see them play.
I think this will be a good week to kind of prove that out, right? We're going to be playing
Yeah.
against a good defense. We'll see how does our offensive line hold up against their pass rush. How does our receivers getting open consistently? So we'll find out, and then we can make our decisions based on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good call.
And I just thought of this. I kind of stayed away from this because I have my personal feelings about it, but somebody brought it up to me. I don't know if you guys saw the little, let's call it Twitter war between Peyton and Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah.
So, what's your guys' for those who may not know, um Sean kind of came out and it kind of alluded to that um Russell was horrible when he was here and that um what he said is he wanted to play Justin Fields anyways. And Russell Wilson came back with a tweet where he essentially said that Sean Payton was bringing back up Bountygate. And so it kind of sparked a few things, and I kind of stayed away from it, and I have my thoughts on it. What do you guys think about it?
My thought is Russell Wilson doesn't play for the Broncos anymore, and I'm very glad he doesn't. And I don't want to ever talk about him ever again if I can help it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty fair. Russell Wilson is a guy that clearly doesn't realize he's out. Basically, he's out of the league. He's not. I don't think anyone's gonna give him another chance. He isn't gonna start for anyone. He's pretty fortunate to actually get a couple extra years in the back end of his Broncos. I don't think Sean ever really wanted him, and that was probably not the best decision. You know, the marriage wasn't good from the beginning, so obviously they're going to have bad, hard feelings, bad blood between both. But Russell Wilson's was lucky to get a starting job for 2 extra years on top of his Bronco 10 year, and if he, I don't think he can really accept the fact that he's not the player he once was. He seems like very much a guy that thinks he's still a starting quality quarterback, and he hasn't shown that in a long time. So
I agree.
yeah.
I think he sees his because of his post Seattle days, he's seeing his Hall of Fame acceptance going
Oh yeah,
in the toilet.
he's not going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He won one Super Bowl and had a short career. Okay.
Right. And a lot of people talk about how Tom Brady was a program quarterback. Russell Wilson was a program quarterback.
He was more of a program quarterback. Absolutely. They don't want to admit that for Seattle because it seemed like they were more a defensive team, but they 100% had to design the offense around the fact he was shorter, he threw the deep ball, so on and so forth, and that was mostly designed around Marshawn Lynch. So
yeah,
I don't remember who was talking about this. Was talking about basically that the way that quarterbacks develop is they get into the league and they have to figure out how to survive, and they sort of figure out whatever worked. And so Russell Wilson figured out how to play off script, run around, hit accurate deep balls, and that is why he was able to do what he was doing. But that doesn't continue once his body starts aging. He never managed to make that leap from the young quarterback to the aging quarterback.
Right. That's exactly what it was. Once he slowed down on that part, he wasn't able to scramble as much as he used to be able to and make people miss him. So, Seattle kind of came out and said, look, we didn't want him anymore because they could see the writing on the wall. Now, we ended up paying him a lot of money. A lot of people don't realize this is that in order for us to get him, they had to agree to give him an extension before the season even started. So there was a choice in the matter. I think the Bears or somebody else was actually offering him more money, but they wouldn't give him the extension until after he started playing, which we probably should have done. But we didn't have much going at quarterback at the time. So here's a guy he's declining. Sean is also a very strong personality himself. So my 2 cents on this is Sean probably didn't word it exactly correctly, but also Russell made a mountain out of a molehill because his feelings got hurt. So neither one of them were right in the situation with how they did it. And Sean did come out and kind of say, hey, that's not really what I meant. But, Russ has to just stop playing this goody two-shoe PR bullshit. Because like what you said, he's trying to get another job because he's trying to play again. And you got $80 million from us. I think you can sit there. You don't need any more money, dude. And you're not getting into the Hall of Fame. So
it's not about the money nowadays for him. He just wants a chance to
it's
play.
his prize.
Playing the
It's his
game.
prize.
I don't fault him for that, you know.
No, I don't fault him, but he could have let the comment go. Honestly, like his name wasn't in it, but I also understand because of his, how do I want to put it, his media presence and like his brand, he couldn't let that go. He had to say something. So
no, plus there's an opportunity to get in the limelight again. He hadn't been in, he's off the sidelines, not doing anything for a few weeks. People can remember who he is now if he gets in the news and gets a little headline there.
Yeah.
Helps him out.
He's just a little dangerous like that.
Wait, he sit there and is like, well, you know what? I said I want to play for him. Let's ride.
Yeah.
Because also Sean has a reputation for saying things off the cuff and being forceful and all of that other stuff. So it created an immediate soundbite. So,
Oh yeah, and I don't think he was trying to word it correctly. I think he was perfectly fine with not even trying to mince words or to say like he kind of this what he meant. That's what he's going to say. And if it shaded Russ Wilson, he doesn't really care one way or another. So whatever.
But he did come out and say that's not what I meant. So I mean, it is
kind of 100%.
But yeah, this came out, and I was just like, I don't want to talk about this right now. We can give that one a couple of weeks. But all right, anything? I don't know. Any good Halloween stories? Favorite Halloween movie?
Oh, I have a real weird one. It's Clue, because Clue is one of my all-time favorite movies. I always want to watch it right around Halloween. Tim Curry's The Butler, fantastic. It's underrated, so that's my go-to Halloween. Out of my face, flame. 2 + 1 + 2. Yeah. So
it is a great movie.
All right.
Mine with him will always be Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Hands down for me for Mr. Curry. So, Steve, you?
Not really. No, I don't have anything.
Yeah, I'm not really a horror person, but that and Death Becomes Her.
Yeah. Okay. Like I like Halloween well enough, but I've never been the best at like coming up with good costumes and things like that. So it's a delightful season, you know. I like my Nightmare Before Christmas, which may be Christmas, maybe Halloween. Hard to say.
It's both. It's fun.
Yeah.
So that's the best part about it. It's both.
¿Por qué no los dos? Okay.
Yeah.
You did pretty good with your Steve. Okay. Yeah, so, all right. That's it.
All right.
So
Let's get him Sunday.
I will see you guys on Sunday. So,
yep.
All right. Well, that is the end of the show. So hold on.